Welcome to the Shine from the Inside newsletter, audio edition. I am Angie Hawkins, an inner glow coach. I help women transform from chasing love and approval to radiating confidence so that they can finally feel happy, free, and loved for who they are. I am also the author and speaker of Running in Slippers. Today we are going to be talking about the Goose-Down coat and the decision that moved me to Hawaii. As always, I do not edit. In early 2017, my boyfriend broke up with me for someone else, and shortly thereafter, my dad passed away. I was 37 years old and had spent every single one of those years running away from my feelings because the underlying shame and belief that I didn't deserve to be loved was too painful to acknowledge. But with two grief-triggering events so close together, the floodgates opened, and I was forced to face my feelings. I spent the remainder of the year feeling like a hopeless zombie because I didn't know anything about emotional regulation, and I didn't understand that a different way of living or that even being happy was available to me. In early 2018, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I knew I wanted to change my life, but I didn't know what those changes looked like. So I intentionally took time to think about what my ideal life entailed. The year before, I took the sketch comedy writing program at the Second City Chicago, which rekindled the love for writing that I had as a little girl. And early 2018 was winter in Chicago, so I was growing weary of the brutally cold and windy winters. After some consideration about what would make my life happy and fulfilling, I decided that I wanted to move to Hawaii and be a writer. It felt like a midlife crisis pipe dream, and I had no idea how I was going to pull it off with a corporate job living in Chicago, but it didn't matter. Because the moment I made the decision, I crossed the threshold from wishy-washy someday thinking to I'm ready to play my life at a higher level, and I'm going to move to Hawaii and be a writer no matter how difficult or scary. Because I didn't know what the first step was, I went to a motivational seminar to get a kick in the butt to figure out the plan. Following is an excerpt from Chapter 9 of Running in Slippers that describes that event. Hi, I'm Angie. Hi, Angie, I'm Sheila. What brings you to the event? What? Why is she interrogating me before I've had a chance to take off my coat? I tell her, I'm making some changes in my life and need some motivation to implement them. Great, what kind of changes? Why is she putting me on the spot right now? I think I want to start a writing project, but I don't know if I have the courage to do it. I also want to move to Hawaii, but I'm way too embarrassed to admit that to you right now. Sheila responds, Awesome, how did you hear about the event? Why are we doing this? Shouldn't this be part of the group introductions? I respond, I don't know, Google? There's an awkward pause. It's roasting in here with a fireplace blazing, and this conversation feels too forced. I am so socially and physically uncomfortable that I can't stand it. Before the sweat starts soaking through my clothes, I need to take off my 850 fill Goose-Down ankle-length coat. Sheila says, Let me take your coat. Finally. Sheila hangs up my coat and finally accepts me into the kitchen island audience. There are two young ladies at the far end who seem to be about my age. Two ladies in the middle who seem to be my mother's age, and then me. Oh, and of course, the two elderly people sitting behind us. And there's a really good-looking, muscular guy in the kitchen who seems to be one of the speakers. And that's it. This is the motivational seminar. 5 attendees, 2 mystery elderly attendees, and 2 speakers. And everyone else is in pairs, so I feel like a third wheel for all 4 pairs. I would love to get the hell out of here right now, but with such a small crowd, I would feel awkward getting up and leaving. It might offend Sheila. The seminar begins. Sheila and Shane, the good-looking fit guy, introduce themselves, and then we start going around the room to make introductions. There are hors d'oeuvres on the island, and the two ladies sitting next to me crunch away the entire time, which is audibly offensive. The two young ladies on the end start speaking. There is Lori, a spinning and yoga instructor, and her friend Jenny, an esthetician. Lori is cute with short curly brown hair and bright pink lipstick, and Jenny is blonde with a much more plain Jane look. Lori tells us that she's going to a motivational seminar in Denver in May with Tony Robbins and Gary Vee. I don't want to interrupt her, but I can't help myself. Wait, Tony Robbins and Gary Vee are going to be at the same event? Yeah, she gives me the details. After Jenny introduces herself, we move down to the two ladies sitting beside me, still stuffing their faces with crunchy food. It turns out these guests are Sheila's mom and her friend. Are you kidding me? She couldn't fill enough seats and had to get pity attendees? Even worse, the elderly couple behind us are Sheila's grandparents. This means that there are only 3 real attendees, including myself. What did I get myself into? Then they get to me. With outward confidence and inward shame, I explain that I'm trying to get over my fears and figure out what I want to do with my life. The huge entertainment room is quiet, except for the fireplaces crackling and me talking about how I want to be a writer, but I don't know how to start. I don't feel comfortable talking in front of other people, even in this small of a crowd. Can we please just start the event so I can get motivated already? End scene. Spoiler alert, I was not motivated by this seminar, but it didn't matter. It got me to the Denver seminar with Tony Robbins and Gary Vee, and I even met Tony Robbins and shook his hand. That event gave me the motivation to ask my manager if I could work remote in Hawaii at a time when remote work was not the trendy thing to do. Because when you choose to up-level into a new version of yourself, life responds. Paths appear, people show up, possibilities unfold. Not because it's easy, but because you finally decided you're worth it. We hesitate to make decisions, not because we're broken, but because we've forgotten our power. As Tony Robbins says, it's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. So here's your invitation. Make the decision. Say yes to the life that's been quietly waiting for you. Don't wait for the perfect plan, just start. Your breakthrough begins the moment you stop waiting and choose to rise. Glow tip: how to make decisions when you don't trust yourself. When fear and uncertainty cloud your clarity, don't wait for full confidence. Reach for curiosity. Instead of asking, what if I fail? Ask, what might I learn? Start small. Choose one tiny action that aligns with the life you want, not the one you're afraid of. Then honor that choice like it matters, because it does. Confidence isn't a prerequisite for decision making. It's the result of showing up for yourself one brave choice at a time. You don't need to be fearless, you just need to be willing. Craving deeper? Dear Radiant Soul, if you found yourself exhausted from constantly trying to be everything for everyone and always performing, pleasing, and perfecting, I want you to know that you're not alone and you don't have to keep living this way. In Shine from the Inside coaching, I guide women just like you through the GLOW method of coming home to themselves. Together, we gently unravel the patterns of people-pleasing, perfectionism, and self-abandonment that have kept you stuck in cycles of emotional overfunctioning and spiritual burnout. This isn't about fixing you. You were never broken, just dimmed. Let's turn your light back on. It's about remembering who you are beneath the mask and the hustle. The result? Everything shifts. You stop outsourcing your happiness. You stop shrinking to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. You become the woman who walks into a room and doesn't need anyone's approval because she already belongs to herself. If you're tired of endlessly working on yourself and ready to feel radiant, grounded, and free, Shine from the Inside was created for you. You deserve to feel whole, you deserve to feel powerful, and you deserve to shine. And on that note, I'm having an end of summer Glow Up August 2025 promotion. You've spent this summer keeping everyone else happy. What would it feel like to pour all of that energy into you and go into 2026 on fire? For the month of August only, I'm offering $1,000 off my signature Shine from the Inside coaching experience, a high-touch journey for women ready to stop people-pleasing, start loving themselves unapologetically, and become a magnet to the life they actually want. This offer is for the woman who knows deep down she's done abandoning herself to be loved. She wants to attract love and success from her truth, not her performance, and she's ready to prioritize her glow up from the inside out. Spots are limited, and this pricing disappears at midnight Hawaii time on August 31st, 2025. Let's make your next season your most radiant one yet. And I have another special announcement. Coming Saturday, September 20th, I'm having a live Zoom masterclass called Unshakable You, the 3 keys to inner confidence no one can take away. If you've ever felt like your worth depends on who approves of you, this masterclass is your turning point. I used to hide in the shadows and think that I needed to earn my worth until I learned the tools that helped me realize that the power was within me all along. In Unshakable You, you'll discover the 3 keys to building deep, lasting confidence that isn't shaken by rejection, comparison, or outside opinions. You'll walk away with practical tools to trust and respect yourself, shifts to finally own your voice, insight on how to plug in to your own magic, secrets on how to feel safe in your body, and a renewed sense of radiance that makes you magnetic in any room you enter. Because when your confidence comes from within, no one can take it away. And all the information is at runninginslippers.com. And another thing I want to add about the masterclass is that the tips that I will be giving for immediate confidence boost, it's not about how you dress, how you walk, or any of that external stuff, because that's based on how you appear externally to get that external validation. What we're going to be doing is internal shifts that will immediately boost your confidence. And the true secret is your inner confidence is what drives how you walk, how you present yourself, how you appear externally. And even though we don't need external validation, it is nice to receive that. So our inner beauty and confidence comes first, and that's what drives everything else externally. And that's how, when you work on yourself and do the inner work, that's how you become a magnet for everything that you really want. And I can truly attest to this because I didn't start doing the inner work in earnest until I was 40, and I'm 45 now, and I also started surfing when I was 40. So I have the most wrinkles and some damage than I ever had when I was younger, but I get way more compliments on my external beauty now than I ever did before. And that's because I shine from the inside. I did all the inner work, so that inner confidence, it's what's radiating and glowing for other people to see. And even though we don't need it, it is nice sometimes to get the external validation. So if you want some easy steps that you can implement in your everyday life, I highly recommend the Unshakable You Masterclass on September 20th. And again, all of that information is available on runninginslippers.com. So see you next week.